Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your 2026 astrological forecast. It's been a while since I've been up here, and I'm so happy to see you join me. And it's going to be a game changer this coming year, and we're going to go through it, and I'll tell you why the major changes that's going to turn your life upside down is going to take place. So, anyway, I like to start with the transit of Mars. And why is that? Well, Mars is our drive, it's our dedication, it's our energy, it's what we do in the physical world. So, and it's going to fire up all the goals that you have. It's going to start up in Capricorn, 12 degrees Capricorn, your fifth house nonetheless. Fifth house being love and relationships, it's your self-expression, creativity, and so forth, your engagement with your children. And Mars takes approximately 6 weeks in each sign. So in 2026, there's no retrogrades to Mars, so it's going to be hammering down the speedway and concluding a journey of 8 houses all together, starting up, like I said, 12 degrees Capricorn, ending up in the first house in Virgo at 9 degrees. So the journey is really going to be first starting off and concluding 2025 with your engagement with your lovers and with your children, your creative sparks, and then going to dive into 6th house of health, your day-to-day routines, co-workers and whatnot, and how you set up your schedules. Then going into the 7th house, relationships, one-on-one partnerships. Then the 8th house, Mars is going to help you locate what is important to you as far as savings, investments, and so forth, mortgages and money. Not necessarily the money that you earn on a weekly, monthly basis, but how you put money aside and make that grow. So you're going to have 6 good weeks there. Moving on to Mars in Taurus, that's going to be all about travel, higher understanding, learning. You might find yourself being so enthralled and wanting to pick up maybe a new study, take a new class. Then you're going to focus on career, moving into hopes, dreams, and groups and organizations, 12th house. Kind of like putting your feet up a little bit just to relax because you've been busy, and then ending up over the ascendants and into the first house, your first house of Virgo. And that's going to allow you to kind of explode with a lot of new energy after that good long rest, 6 weeks, when Mars went through Leo. So the next step that I want to talk about is a little bit about Jupiter. And Jupiter currently, they're then in Cancer. That's your 11th house. Hopes and dreams, nurturing it. Why nurturing? Because it's in the sign of Cancer. So you've probably been using some energy to nurture your closest bonds or closest friends and whatnot, and doing a lot of fun things there with them. It will start off retrograde. Top of the year there, January, until March 11th. Then it's going to go direct. It will hammer down in your 12th house until July 1st when it crosses your ascendants, and this is going to be the best time of the year for you. Only why? Because coming into Leo, I would say that this is going to be a time for your subconsciousness to really grow, expand. Your visions will grow, your creativity will grow, your empathy for the world will grow, right? And I'd say it's also closing a 12-year cycle. It was 12 years ago. Jupiter was in the 12th house last time. So you're kind of having, especially under the retrograde period phase, looking back over what did you start 12 years ago? All right, because you're getting a new chance to kind of restart that here now. Being in Leo, you're going to be looking at your pride, or what makes you proud, where you might be a little over proud. It can release some of that, but it's really the sense of wanting to give, your sense of giving and compassion and empathy, and so from July 1st to the end of the year. Get your pens and notepads out here, Virgo. We're going to talk about your retrogrades. Mercury retrogrades, we got 3. in a year, and they last typically 3.5 weeks at a time. We always want to give it a few days prior and a few days to a week afterwards, because then it's in the shadow before it's fully gone. That first Mercury retrograde is from February 26th to March 21st in the sign of Aquarius in your sixth house. So, what is that going to do for you? Well, we did talk about day-to-day routines and whatnot. This is where Mercury is going to shore things up. What needs to go will go. What you question or you're doubtful about, that's going to come up so you can work with it. But it's also your health, your diets, and whatnot. So you might also, as we know, with retrogrades, things can slow down. There might be some misunderstandings, delays, and so forth. So just be a little aware in those 3 weeks not to start anything new as far as at least contracts. Don't sign anything if you absolutely don't have to. It is a little bit powerful because why Pluto has entered that sixth house. We're going to talk more about Pluto and Aquarius for you in this area. But it's kind of there, and you're kind of really looking at wanting to reset something, I feel, that's bigger than just the 3.5 week period. The second retrograde is going to be in Cancer. This will be running along here in your 11th house, hopes and dreams, but also in this cycles or circle of friendships. This is from June 30th to July 24th. So we got 3.5 weeks where you're going to be tweaking it. There might be situations coming up within that area of groups, organizations perhaps. If you're affiliated in any way, there might be some extra work through there. There might be situations, say, for example, if you've been holding something back to a friend or friends and not really sharing, well, that may now surface and bring it up so that you can work through it. And that's a good thing. It's always good to use the retrogrades in a positive sense and looking at it as we're tweaking, we're improving, instead of looking at everything that might be shutting down, right? It might feel like a shutdown, like, oh my God, here we go, right? But if you look at it as an opportunity, you're better set. The third and last Mercury retrograde of the year will be from October 24th to November 11th, taking place in your third house, Virgo. Third house is siblings. So there may be situations between you and them that may come up that you will be looking into. It also represents neighbors and so forth, or short distance travel, communication. If you have presentations at this time, just be prepared that things can maybe go a little haywire, but not necessarily. If you tweak prior to the retrograde coming in, then you're very well set, especially for presentations and so forth. It's in the sign of Scorpio, so it may be felt a little intense. Intensity can be good if we use it for the positive, meaning that you're going to be able to cut to the core. Let's now move on to the outer planets. I love the outer planets because they're transpersonal. It's more of who we are, not just ruling the five senses in the 3D world, right? That's the sun out to Saturn that rules that, all our five senses. It also rules karma. That's where Saturn comes in. The outer planets really allows us to see beyond the veil. It's our higher spiritual being. And all three of them are changing signs. That's why I'm saying 2026 is just a beginning of long term to come where you, Virgo, are going to be changing up your dynamics. We're going to start looking at Uranus here. Uranus starts off, let me see, retrograde, and it will turn direct on February 4th. And for that, I have to say, though, you've been into this Taurus energy with Uranus. Uranus likes to turn a page, open up those higher dimensions, right? You might have been very interested in studying spiritual and philosophical things over these last years, and preparing yourself for that. But now it's going to be moving into Gemini April 28th. Yes, got it here. April 28th. It will be in your 10th house for career. And this is where you're really going to see the big change up over the next years until 2023. 2023, and then watch where you're going to be aiming your goals. You might want to expand in a different direction that you might have been thinking about. Maybe what you've been preparing for the last 8 or some plus years while it was transiting your 9th house. You might now feel it's time to open those doors, to take on those new challenges, right? And it's really working and thinking outside of the box, because Uranus likes to detach from old norms, old ways. It wants to explore, try new things. So you're going to be that much more daring from April, end of April, and throughout this year, 2026, and in the oncoming years. In that, you might also come to face a lot of changes as far as challenges. You might change your job a couple of times until you land exactly where it is that you truly, truly want. So a little bit of fluctuation, but there's also that feeling of freeing yourself from what you used to have in thoughts of work. If you always thought, I got to stick to it, and then stick to it my whole life, you might figure out that no, change is good, because it allows you to really use more of who you are. Uranus is also that higher octave of Mercury, which is linear in communication and thought processing. Uranus is also about downloading a lot of information all at once. It speeds up our higher way of thinking. Maybe we want to implement that into a career with technology. So some of you might just see that you might be diving into more of an IT thing and communicating that way, and seeing maybe how you can use technology in your career in a different way. Then we have Neptune, is all about vision. Neptune for you has been going through Pisces, and it will dive into Aries, your 8th house, 27th of January. Okay, so until then, you're concluding where it's been working in your 7th house of relationships. So some of you might have been feeling either that things have been dissolving, which Neptune can do. Others might have tapped into the higher octave, which is all about idealism. Many of you might have been looking for that ideal partnership, that ideal relationship, or that twin flame, right? Because not only has Neptune been in Pisces, but it's the ruler of Pisces, and in that area of the 7th house, you've been working on relationships and trying to figure out its deepest cores. But now, here, Virgo, it moving into and staying for many years to come, it's going to be interesting to see what you're going to do about it, because Aries is all about fire, it's about passion. 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. So whoop-de-doo, you are definitely setting yourself up for a lot of passion and intensity. And I think you're going to love it. You're really going to love it, Virgo, because you have those depths within you. But it takes the right partner, just not a partner, but the right partner for you to be able to open up for this idealistic way of loving, which is beyond just 3D love. We're talking about 5D, higher dimensional love. Then Pluto, oh yeah, we love Pluto for its transformative energy. It's death and rebirth. It's done with the old and opening for the new. And it already stuck its foot in there for you into Aquarius, your 6th house. It's been cruising through your 5th house for love and relationships, your children. Most of you have been going through major transformations with your children over these past years. They might have been going through their things and you trying to balance it alongside with them. But now that's kind of sorting itself out, where the focus for new growth, that new life, that new incarnation that Pluto can promise, is going to be in the 6th house. Your day-to-day routines are going to become totally different from what they have been in the far past. Okay, you're going to set it up the way you will feel that you can have more control over it, your schedules. You might find yourself wanting to eat differently. Maybe your body is going to be very attuned to certain things and wanting to shut out other things. Just be aware of how your body speaks to you. And you will see that that's going to bring a lot of your health to the forefront and how you can refine it, replenish it. So some of you might even feel that you're going to start growing younger in that sense once you attune to the body. So it's really interesting. I love how the outer planets really speak to the higher dimension, the fifth dimensional self, the higher chakras. You have always been very intuitive, Virgo, haven't you? Because the other end of your stick is Pisces. So those of you who have really integrated your Pisces nature into your Virgo, oh yeah, look at all that spiritual energy now opening up your channels. Some of you might be feeling that you're going to be channeling a lot of new information and so forth. Your light bodies are going to light up like a Christmas tree. That compassion that we spoke of, you always had it, but now it's like stepping out into the world, maybe doing something with it differently from what you have done before, right? Maybe quite a few of you I know have been looking for a life mission, like you're here to do something very, very special. If you haven't found what that mission is yet, Virgo, you will find it. Just to end things off, I've made a few astrological songs, so if you're into music, like to listen to music, there's one about the outer planets. You'll find it on my channel, which is nice to listen to in the background. Hopefully it can inspire. There's other songs about the moon, the full moon, or just moon in your natal chart, and how that influences all of us and those around us, those people that we love, right? So yeah, there's a playlist there that you can play through. I'd love to hear from you. Please do comment down below so we can reconnect, so I can shoot off a couple of lines to you personally as well. Would love to do that since I've been gone for so long. So listen, 2026, Virgo, have a blast. Go get it. Listen to your moon or rising sign too for 2026, as that will be equally current and informative for you. Have a good one, and we will talk down the road. Bye now.